it has been a hot minute since the last Maid of Honor Diaries, but the big day is just around the corner. Today is Tuesday and the wedding is on Saturday and Sunday. And I am here prepping my Maid of Honor speech. So that's kind of like the last big thing that I'm thinking of. Well, that and the wedding entrance that I'm doing with Jonathan, the best man, which honestly I'm a little bit more nervous about than the speech. Anyway, I wrote the speech and I kind of had trouble writing the speech because I think what I was thinking and what I told my friend Karen too is that what I would tell Karen and Jimmy is a little different than something that I would tell like 250 people, including their family and friends. So it was a bit of a challenge for me to filter myself in that way and just like write this speech that would hit all of the points that I wanted to hit, like the outline. So I thought I would just come on here and kind of share some of the tips or processes that I used as I was writing my speech and how I'm practicing for it, in case any of you are giving a Maid of Honor speech, or if you just have any kind of like public speaking in front of a big crowd, maybe this will pertain or be relevant. But I started with an outline. So I watched a few videos, like I literally just looked up Maid of Honor speech on YouTube and watched like 2 or 3 videos. And then I think there was one where it's like, oh, this is what you should include to have like the perfect Maid of Honor speech. So my rough outline was introduce myself / say thank you for, coming, talk about the bride, either memory or personality traits, talk about the groom, maybe how I knew they were a perfect fit or something about the relationship, well wishes, compliment them as a couple, a quote or an ending, and then a toast. So I didn't quite fit that outline because as I was typing, I knew there were certain like things that I wanted to include, and as I was typing, it didn't quite just like mesh so well, but I rearranged it a little bit and I think it sounds okay still. What I did was I just started dumping thoughts into my notes app. I would just type, and what I do is I type first and then each paragraph, like I would read it out loud to myself. And as I read it out loud to myself, I caught myself kind of naturally ad-libbing and adding certain words and phrases or taking things out. And so when I would say that out loud, I would actually make those edits because then the speech was written to sound more like how I would actually deliver it in spoken words. By the time I finished my first, like big paragraph, I recorded myself and it was already like 2.5 minutes. So I told Karen like, hey, how strict is this time limit? And she said, oh, it's not that strict, right? There's only 2 speeches, so you can have up until 10 minutes. So I was using that as my like maximum limit. I didn't want to go over 10 minutes. Of course, I wanted to keep it like short to make it more engaging for the audience, but at the end of the day, this speech is for Karen, and she has made it clear that she doesn't mind like a longer speech. We both listen to speeches, even if they're a bit longer, and if the audience wants to zone out, they zone out. It's like not their day, and I'm not here to like shorten my message to my friend just because somebody like wants to, I don't know, start drinking more, So that's what I did. I think when you're writing, punctuations and transition words like are really important, but sometimes when you're speaking out loud, you don't really need to always like end sentences as grammatically correct with the punctuations and transition words as you would as you were writing. So sometimes I just put the ... so that I know to like move on to my next sentence. So that's something that I found to be helpful. And what has also been helpful is recording voice memos and then recording myself like just a video. And before doing that, I would just like recite it to myself as I'm walking outside or in my room. I found that reciting it to someone else is not super good because I'm really nervous with that stuff. Like even with Ryan, like I don't like to do mock interviews with him. I feel like it just kind of loses that like authentic, emotion when I'm constantly worried about like, oh wait, but like that's not how I meant to say it. And then so I just rather record it all myself and then send it to him. For a Maid of Honor speech, you want to keep it positive. There's their family there, their friends there, coworkers, people that don't know the ins and out of their relationship like you do. You don't want to mention that like, oh, fights that you've heard of or arguments that they've had. This is really the time to kind of shed light on their positive traits and their positive qualities and that they come together and make a really great pair. And so I think I used a mix of anecdotes and my own thoughts and quotes and kind of meshed it together. My first half of the speech is really focused on Karen and my friendship with Karen. I think that our friendship is just really strong, and I wanted to highlight that. And I think that that's something that when I think of us, I think of the ways that the friendship I have with her is different than the friendship that I have with some other people. And so I really wanted to highlight that. Do I think that it's the most exciting thing for a listener to, hear? I don't. I don't think that the audience is going to be super engaged with that part, but it's important for me to put it in there. And I think it's something that will mean a lot to her. So not everything is done with the audience in mind, if that makes sense. I do think there's a balance though of doing, the speech in a way that is for the bride and groom, but also knowing that you do have hundreds of people listening and watching you too. I don't know if this is helpful, but I guess I will just kind of post clips of me practicing, and then I'll post the real thing. Hopefully it goes well. Today is Tuesday, and I'm gonna say it on Sunday. And every day I'm just kind of trying to practice a little bit. I finished at 1 a.m. yesterday, just kind of writing it, and I want to just finalize it, print it out. I am planning to hold the speech with me, but I don't think I'll need to read off of it, but I will probably need to glance at it to just kind of remind myself what's coming next. That is the plan. I'm a little nervous, but I think it'll be okay. So I just want to show you all something else that I did. So leading up to the wedding this weekend, I wanted to make sure that the wedding party was on the same page with everything that's happening and what everyone needs to do. So I put together this timeline document. It starts on Thursday, so that's our rehearsal day. And so this is just what's happening, action item, and then wedding eve, right on Friday, this is what's going to happen, who's going to get what do you need to do, tea ceremony. The yellow highlights is for the boys to really drill into their heads. And then the best man's here with some questions. We're getting people's orders for McDonald's. The hair and makeup order for the girls, right? What the boys have to be wearing. Get red envelopes ready, rough agendas, some pictures that will help them. And then where we're headed, right? Again, hair and makeup order. And then I made a packing list for everybody. So groomsmen, bridesmaids, the best man, maid of honor here, me, and then the groom and the brides, just so that everybody knows what they're bringing. And then again, we're getting bagels for everybody, or the planner or the boys will get it, so just getting everybody's order. So I feel just kind of making sure everybody knows what's happening, so that on the day of, they're not always asking the bride and the groom, who are really busy and juggling a ton of things, oh, what about this, what about this? It's this is the timeline, this is what's going to happen next, so take a look at it. A few weeks ago, I kind of told myself, leading up to the wedding, my friend Karen is super stressed. There's so many things that she has to do, and there's a lot of things that I cannot help her with, right? When it comes to the logistics, booking things, talking to vendors, she's handling all of that herself. And so I'm just trying to help where I can, and I think my strengths are I can do this. I can help, give instructions to people and be that point person and kind of direct people to certain things. And I'm hoping that it goes smoothly. I think that I've done a lot, but I probably think that there's probably a lot more that I could have done too. But I also am just trying to keep in mind my own schedule and my own, things that I have to worry about, and also just the other relationships in my life that I have to juggle. All in all, I am excited for this weekend. I'm a little sad that it's gonna end, I think it'll be really bittersweet. I'm excited to celebrate with everyone and to have fun and to see them, and hopefully, everything is just how they imagined it would be. And then I think it's gonna be sad, just every, after a big event or a big trip, just kind of feel wow, it's over. So I'm excited for it. I'm happy for them, and I hope to vlog and share as much as I can with you all, so that I could also go back to these videos and rewatch too. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all very soon, hopefully. Bye. Hi, everyone. All right. Before I introduce myself, I just want to start off by saying thank you all so much for coming here to celebrate and honor Heritage and the almost 12 years of love together. way here with us tonight, whether it was a long drive or a flight. Some even came all the way from Cambodia. And parents' top love language is quality time, so I know that it means the world to her and Jimmy that you all are here celebrating the day together. She said, true. And I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to Karen and Jim for the amazing night that they put together. They have spent over a year planning all the details, all the flowers, the colors, the way the napkin is folded. Okay, a lot of nice stress, and I think it looks wonderful. What do you think? Alright, my name is Katrina, and I'm a father and a little bit nervous to be my parents' Maid of Honor. Those who know me will know that I have a really hard time being concise, so I'm going to do my best to jump right in and save some time for Jonathan's speech. So Karen and I met in 5th grade when we were 10 years old. We were in the same class, but I wouldn't really say we were friends yet. I think my first impression of Karen was that she was a cute, popular girl who all the boys had a crush on, including some of the boys here today, besides Jimmy. She said it's true. But I guess assigned seating really does have its magic with Karen, because the following year, 6th grade, we were and we got along so well, a little too well, that we got our first attendance together for talking to someone and passing home salting. Karen knows this, but growing up, I always hesitated to use her best friend because as a kid, I always lost my best friend when I went to the next grade and we're in the same class anymore, and I realized that keeping friendship is hard and most inconvenient. But fast forward 18 years later, and we're still here together. Best friends, never. And I think what's so special about our friendship is that in the 52 decades that we've been together, we've truly been through all the seasons. From the MySpace days, the pre-teenage where we would take updates, self-timer photos like this outside your house, to the emergence of Facebook and all the cringy photos that we would put each other's wall, to the years of some separation during high school where we were growing into ourselves, to spontaneous summer nights where we were both back to college, to a little bit of distance when you were starting your career at grad school across the country. But I'm really happy to say that in the past few years that I think we've been in this season and we've spent a lot of time together. And something I really appreciate about our friendship and talk to you now is that the ways in which we grow as individuals and together. I think you both know this. Just like romantic relationships, friendships are not always easy. And it can take immense effort to continue showing up for each other in a way that we each feel seen, supported, and loved. But I can say with confidence that through it all, the hard times, the good times, the annoying times, the hurt times, and the penny times, that you and I are always so honest with each other, with the love we have for each other. And I think that's something that really means a lot to us. Since we first met, Karen has changed in a lot of ways. But one of the things that has stayed the same, and one of the things that I admire about her, is how to see reality. And this goes for small things like DIY projects, to make recipes, to make things like this vision, this wedding here. And one of the early visions she had was trying to get this boy named Jimmy to like her back. Jimmy! When Karen told us that she liked Jimmy at the end of 10th grade, I think all of us, including Jimmy himself, were a little bit taken aback. was popular and all the boys liked her, and she was typically into the boys who were too popular, not kind of too cool for school. No offense at all to you, Jimmy, but here Jimmy was, this little nerdy Asian cute boy who played games and did shouting.
Hey, that's my friend! Yeah, Jimmy!
After seeing them together, I really think that they're a perfect match. I think as a kid and as a teen, parents was forced to grow up a lot faster than a lot of her peers, including me. And I think being with parents has really allowed her to tap into herself and allowed her to be playful and silly and goofy and love pranks and scared me when it comes to home. If you told me 8 years ago that one day Karen was working at a anime company, and that she'd be better at Valorant than some of these boys over there, it'd be Raymond.
What's going on?
Here she is today, and I think it is in large part due to the amount of effort that she put into learning about the things that Jimmy liked and turning those into activities and hobbies that they could all share together. And even though they've been together for so long, I've only recently gotten closer to Jimmy, but I'm so thankful that we hung out more in the last few years because Jimmy, you truly are a joy to be around. Love how you are always smiling and lighting up the room with your smile and laughter. You're always welcoming and friendly to everyone. You're always either helping something up, fixing something, cleaning something, and you light up the room. I get that already, but you do light up the room sometimes too. And your signature, oh my god! See, that's the last one that is Karen and I always jokingly, lovingly joke that you are such an Asian dad. We have two leather phone cases that open up, and she's still using the emojis that we used in middle school. XD and like criticizing soft drinks. He's a little bit stubborn sometimes. Typical dads are. But he always is so amused at the little things. He loves helping others. He doesn't like inconveniencing others. And above all, he just really loves spending time with his friends. And I really think they are match made in heaven because Karen is very much like a typical Asian mom. She is a 100% a pro at cutting fruits. She knows exactly what she likes and what she doesn't like, and she prefers to do it herself most of the time. She can be very blunt, and she can have a hard time saying thank you and sorry sometimes. And this girl is hard to impress. Seriously, she walked into her wedding venue, seen her wedding gown, her beautiful wedding gown, her bachelorette party, with her arms crossed like this, going, not bad, not bad. But like a loving mother, she always makes sure that the people she loves are taken care of. From the days in 6th grade where you would have to help me stay emotional because I couldn't stay to the time where you had to stand up for me when I got heartbroken, to stock up Airbnbs with rose-colored because you know that I admit what I have to do. I feel so lucky to have been loved by you for so long. And of course, parents love extending beyond me. Every time we're out, she's always thinking about what to buy to go for today. She's always taking mental notes of what our friends like and things they want to try, and she comes across this to grab it for them. She's having a lot in her bag. And sometimes she'll plan them an entire pirate-themed birthday party. She's always making gifts for her nephews and her nieces. And like a loving mother, she plans the best getaways, gatherings for us, and always makes sure she's fed. We're fed. And she's fed too. She's really the kind of person that shows her love through her actions. And I guess acting like parents rubs in the pressure because before he was going to propose to parents, I went to him like a parent and said very seriously, Jimmy, I'm not asking you all to be perfect, but I want to make sure parents can take care of the time of their son. Always taking care of everyone else. And I want to quote a little bit of what Jimmy said, because he was really real with me and he said, thanks for me. After being a parent for 10 plus years, I've come to learn that everyone does have their flaws. I'm not the perfect person, but I'm trying to improve where I can. And I don't exactly know what love is yet, but all I can promise is that I'll do my best and hope that he can do the same. And you, I really appreciated that. Because I think that your words are a reminder to me, to both of you, and to everybody here, that we are all still growing. But the fact that you all have found the person that you are comfortable and safe enough, if you use those two words in your mouth, comfortable and safe enough to be vulnerable with, to be imperfect in front of, to go through all the highs and all the lows of life with, is something to me so special. Now, I would like to raise a toast so you can join me. Wishing you both a lifetime of growing together, having fun with each other, exploring, trying and of course, singing many musicians at the top of your lungs together. I love you both so much, and I'm so excited for your next chapter.
That's right. Thank you, Katrina. Make some noise for the Maid of Honor, ladies and gentlemen, Katrina Dick. All right. And next, we have the best man. Give it one time for Jonathan.